everybody. Okay, this is like the third time I'm trying this, so let's see if this works. How are you all doing today? So it's the end. So it's the end of the second week of this whole homeschooling thing with the kids for me. What week is it for you all? I'm just curious. What week are you on? And drop an emoji or a GIF or something in the comments to let me know how you're feeling. It is Friday. Praise baby Jesus. It is Friday. We get a break. Oh my goodness. Or at least a chance to breathe, from the school rat race. I feel like we've all just sort of been thrown into this big pile, right? And we have to sort of figure out, like, is this my leg or your leg? Is this your arm or whose arm is this? And all this other stuff. So it's been a little crazy, but I know we can get through it. And I was thinking about, what I could take out of this week into next week. And I just made like this list of things that I just want to keep in mind, some hacks that I came up with that I knew either because I tripped over them, I had to find them out, figure them out, or they were just things that I found myself in situations where I was like, that is a really good reminder. So I'm going to go over a few of those hacks really quickly. I know we all want to start our weekend, or if you're watching this on a replay, type replay below. I want to know when you're watching this. Okay, so the first thing. Are you an early bird or are you a night owl? Let me know. Which one are you, an early bird or a night owl? See, I am a night owl. Born and raised night owl right here. I would absolutely much rather stay up until 3 or 4 a.m. getting something done than wake up at 5 a.m. to start doing something. And one thing I've realized is if there is something really important on my to-do list that absolutely has to get done, I either have to get up early and do it or I have to stay up late. Because when I try to fit really important things into the day, it either ends up sucking up my whole day or I find myself really frustrated and overwhelmed. Because at least this week for me, I don't know how it's been for you, but we're still trying to get into the swing of things, like what to do and how and when they need to show up for things and all this other stuff. So interruptions are common, so if they're really important things that I need to do, I've realized like I either got to stay up late or I got to get up super early in the morning and knock them out, because I can't be absolutely 100% certain that I'm going to get them done during the day. At least I'm going to get them done during the day without my head exploding. Yeah. So figure out which you are, if you're a night owl or an early bird, and then decide what are those absolute things. Or they might be things that just require silence. Like I'm a creative and I love to create, but I create best when I have like space to just allow my stream of consciousness to go. So if you need to be in creative mode or something like that, that really early time or that really late time is really important. I don't know how many times during this week I've come in, like I've left to go help the kids with something and I've come back in and there's been like the beginning of a sentence typed and I'm like, what was that gonna, and I have no idea where I was going or what I was thinking or anything like that. So that's the first thing that I realized. The second thing I realized is, hey, I don't know, let me know if you can resonate with this, but things that usually take 5 minutes seem to be taking 50 minutes. It's insane. So I can have a to-do list of like 5 or 6 things that normally I could knock out pretty quick, or they might take up the whole period of me, being home and working, but they get done. And I'm finding this week, if I have a list of 6 things that should be doable, I may get to, maybe if I'm lucky. So the other thing I realized was I need to have like 2 must-dos on my list, no more than 2 must-dos. And if I have more than 2 must-dos, refer back to hack number 1. I got to get up earlier to do it, or I got to stay up late. But 2 absolute. And if I get more than 2, bonus, but to put the expectation on myself that I'm absolutely going to get everything on my to-do list done, it's setting me up. It's setting me up, right? Okay. The next thing is dance outside the box. Um, I'm realizing, so I'm a swimmer. I love swimming and I miss it so much because the gym is closed and it's driving me nuts. And I have a bike trainer downstairs because I used to do triathlons. So I do have a bike trainer downstairs, but swimming's my first love. And running, we won't even talk about running. That's one of the reasons I don't do triathlons anymore because I don't like running. It's not my favorite. Just funny. I did like cross country and track all through high school, and maybe that's the problem. So now somebody mentions running, I'm like, oh. Anyway. Yeah, and I haven't been able to push myself down there to get on that bike. I gave myself a deadline of this weekend, but I say dance outside the box because I was online today or this week, and I saw someone posted this option that it's a dance studio, and they were like, "Hey, we're going to put dance classes online for your kids, and it's like $9.99 a month or something like that during this period." And I was like, "My kids? I'm signing up for that for me." And it was like tap and ballet and, all these different things. I was like, I've always wanted to learn to tap dance. So I commented on it and I was like, I'm going to sign this up for me. And the woman responded, she's like, okay, but it's going to be really slow and it's going to be kid music. And I'm like, anything faster and I'll probably hurt myself. So that's perfect. So when I say dance outside the box, look, it's really, really important that we and our children, that we get physical, right? We get outside, we get into nature, we do things. And you might have things that you're really used to doing that you can't do anything anymore, like swimming or, whatever you might have done that you can't do right now to scratch that physical itch. Think of ways that you can be physical and that you can move. Maybe you want to start something that you've thought about, but you've just never done. Like maybe you want to start running, or there's a yoga studio here that I attend. They've put a lot of stuff online now. Maybe hop on and take a yoga class. Or one of my friends is talking about putting her martial arts studio classes online. Like everything's going online now. So this is the opportunity. If you've ever wanted to try something or your kids have wanted to try something, Google it. I guarantee you somebody somewhere has put that sucker online because everybody wants to try to keep people going and moving and doing, right? And the best way to do that during the season is to do it online. So what's something you've always wanted to do? Try it out. Maybe you wanted to sing. I mean, it's not exercise, but try it out. See what happens. I'm sure there's somebody giving singing lessons online. My son, he does trumpet. My daughter and I, we do ukulele together. Both of those lessons now, we do them online. So even things like that, teachers who are willing to teach things, they do them online. So think about, if you're going to be in, what's something that you can do to increase your physical activity, to support a hobby or a habit that you really wanted to get into, but you might not have been able to, something to supplement what maybe you used to do that you can't do anymore. Dance outside the box. Think outside the box. Figure out ways to scratch those itches and learn new things. The other thing that I've learned this week, to control or not to control, I've realized it's really important for me to figure out what I can control and what I can't control. There's a lot that I'm realizing. Sorry if you hear my kids in there. There's a lot that I'm realizing I can't control, and getting clear on that. Like today, for instance, I had a small to-do list because I said I was going to give myself a break today. But my daughter had a stomach ache. My son had a stomach ache. Like they just were not feeling well. And I had to run to the pharmacy and, all of these things, and realizing like, I can't control this moment, and realizing, okay, I can't control what's happening, but I can control how I deal with it. Right. So coming up with alternate ways to control what you can. Right. So for me, it was, okay, I'm not going to be able to get X, Y, or Z done during this time period when I plan to get it done. But I can control my schedule. I have more control over it. I can move things around. I can fix things. Or I could just say, you know what, I'm going to put this off till Monday, right? So really getting clear on where you have control. We have way more control than we think we do. Okay, way more control than we think we do. So really remembering that. Okay. The other thing is, another way that we can really have control over things is to be proactive. So this is what I realized this week is, next week, I'm going to have the kids prepare their lunches the night before. Because if I don't, let's say I'm on a call with a client or I'm doing a live or something like that, and it's around lunchtime or they get hungry, they will eat, not junk, because I don't really keep junk in the house necessarily, but I'll come out and there'll be like packs of like goldfish or Cheez-Its, like not like chocolate bars or hoo-hoos or ding-dongs or anything like that. But it's not lunch, right? But they will have eaten like 3 packs of those, right? And then I'm like, well, it's time for lunch. And like, I'm not hungry. So you just filled up on 5 packs of Cheez-Its, right? So really realizing, getting the food, back to what can I control, getting the food together, right, in advance. The other things that I think it's really helpful and gave me a sense of control, or helped with that sense of control, is giving them responsibilities. Okay, like they're young. I mean, my kids are 7 and 11. There are things they can do. Even if your kids are 4, 5, 6, there are things they can do. So figuring out, what is it that they can do? What can I take off my plate? Like my son, I told him, here's your schedule. Figure out when you need to be online. There is a clock. Figure that out, right? Let's set a timer, right? You got to be online in 45 minutes. Let's set the kitchen timer for 45 minutes so that you'll be online in time. Because me, and I talked about this a little bit yesterday or the other day when I recorded, me running around trying to handle 3 people's schedules is not ideal at all. So figuring out, what can they control? What can they take responsibility for, right? And just give them something to do and see if they can do it. They may surprise you. And if they can't, then jump in and try to help them. But other than that, let them try it out themselves. My good friend Pam helped me to see that one, so I appreciate her for that. We were talking and came up with that one. Very important. So figuring out, where do you feel a lack of control, and where can you get more control? Where can you collect more control in your life, okay, during these times? So the next thing is, it's physical distance, not social distance. I actually posted something the other day. This guy made a really good point about how we use the phrase social distancing, but it's really not an ideal phrase, because we don't want to distance socially. Actually, social connection is what we need right now. What we want to do is we want to stay physically distant, but resilience, the number one key or foundation that really strengthens our sense of resilience, is social connection. Really having other people that get it, that we can go through things with, right? That's why I'm starting the group Space to Breathe next Friday. Please join. Give you more information on that in a minute. But social connection is really, really important. I actually was in another group recently, and there were some parents talking about what they were going through. And it was so healing and supporting for all the women in that group, because it was like, oh my gosh, you too? Great, I'm not alone, right? So don't isolate yourself. Don't lock yourself up in your house with just you, your kids, your partner. Like, jump on a Marco Polo. It's this cool app where you can talk to people and the message is waiting for them when they get there. So you don't have to be on at the same time. You just like leave. It's like voicemail with video, right? You just leave it and then they pick it up and then they record one back to you. It's really cool. Download Marco Polo and Marco Polo with people. Hop on Zoom. Get on the phone with a friend. Send back a voice text to people. Social connection is so important during these times. Make sure that you're talking to at least one person outside of your home a day in some capacity, because social connection is one of the most important things for your mental health. Okay, so that's the other thing I realized. I remember it was like Tuesday or maybe even Wednesday, and I was like, have I been outside all week? I was like, I don't think I've stepped outside all week. right? So I went outside. I had a salad that day, and I ate my salad, and I was outside, and my neighbor walked by, and I was like, hi. And then we came together, and we just started talking. We just started chit-chatting, and it was really good just to be able to be like, yes, I need to talk to somebody today. Yeah, and have that connection. So make sure that you are connecting with at least one person every day. The next thing, meditations. Okay, I know everybody's probably touting this and go meditate and breathe, but it is so important, people. I'm telling you, it is so important. There are tons of apps out there for meditate. Tons. Oh my gosh, everybody's coming out. When you tap meditation in it'll tell there's like a million apps. There was an article that I uploaded recently that had like top meditation apps. I'll find it and post it below this video. But it was like top meditation apps, and then they described like what made it unique. Because the thing about even if you've tried a meditation app before and you didn't quite buy into it as much, it might be because it just wasn't the right app for you. So making sure you find the right app. During this time when we're tense and moving a lot and confused and uncertain, we could sometimes forget to just breathe, take deep breaths. And even breathing is really helpful in terms, take a deep breath, in terms of our physical health, our emotional health, our spiritual health, our mental health, all of it. It's really, really important. The research is clear. There's no question anymore about whether meditating, can be just breathing, focusing on your breath, those types of things are helpful. We know 100% they're helpful. Some things that you can do, because I know everybody doesn't have time to sit down and Om for 30 minutes. That's not what I'm saying. But some things that you can do, set an alarm, right? Yeah, you have multiple alarms on your phone. Set an alarm so that every time it goes off, you take 5 deep breaths. Or every time you wash your hands or go to the bathroom or hop on an app like a Facebook or Instagram or something on your phone, you commit to taking 5 deep breaths, right? And the way that meditation helps, how it's beneficial, is the more that you do it, the calmer, or the quicker, the faster you can enter into calm and the present moment when you need it most, right? The time to meditate isn't necessarily when your stress level is through the roof. You get the most benefit when you start the practice, even if it's 5 minutes a day, right? When you start the practice and then you store up the benefits. And you'll definitely start to see a change over time of when things get frustrating and tense, how your system stays calmer, right? You widen that window of tolerance so that you're able to stay within a tolerable space longer. Okay. That is not mine. That is the window of tolerance is from Dan Siegel and Pat Ogden. So, but I'll talk more about that in another polo. So definitely do that. The other thing is, like today was a light day for me, purposefully, because you are moving faster, even though it's kind of strange. Not all of us, many of us are moving faster trying to get all this straight than we do on a normal day, right? So make sure you plan in either a light day or a light time of day. Actually stop working and eat lunch, right? Like, don't just eat, which I'm guilty of this. Don't just sit in front of the computer and wolf down something. Go outside with a sandwich or something and walk around and take time to eat. Take time to just allow yourself to experience the calm, okay? And the other thing is creativity and flexibility. That's all I kept saying all week, creativity and flexibility. Those are my best friends this week, right? Find your word for the day or a mantra for the week or whatever, something that you can say that you can remind yourself of when it can remind you to calm, it can remind you to breathe, it can bring you back to the present moment, whatever it is. For me, it was creativity and flexibility. I got to be flexible. I got to be creative. I got to figure out creative solutions, things like that. So come up with just some words, throughout the week, so that you can have for the week or for the day, just to remind you to it doesn't even have to be like a real word. It could just be like lamb or ghee, or it could be anything, just something so that'll say like, oh, wait, it could be peace, it could be joy, creativity, flexibility, whatever. But it really does help. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you like a brief, very quick breathing meditation that you can do throughout the day. It's very, very fast. I'm going to invite you to do it with me. But first, I want to tell you about a program. It's a support and guidance group I have coming up. It starts next Friday. It's called Space to Breathe. And there, if you go to the page, it's teamjoy.rocks, not .com, .rocks. You'll go to the page and you'll see that there are prices listed, but there's also a pay what you can option, because I know that people are struggling right now in so many different ways, right? And I don't want this group to be limited at all. If you want to be in it, I want it to be there for you. So this group is based on 3 pillars: calm, confidence, and community. As I said earlier, being able to calm our system, being able to take deep breaths, it's really, really important. So in that group, you're going to get some meditation hacks and opportunities just to calm your system. Confidence, really important. It goes back to what you can control and what you can't, right? And when we have information and guidance, we feel more in control of our system and of our situation and of our circumstance, right? So that's going to be a place you can really bolster your confidence, get your questions answered. There are going to be a lot of great guests that are coming in. There's one woman who is coming into the group, and she's going to talk about, she's homeschooled 7 children, and she's going to be there to give us some really great insights and things that we can do to make the homeschooling journey more pleasant and not feel as raw as it does for many of us right now, and some others that I'll talk about more as we move forward. So please, please, please go over there, read the page, explains all the information, and join the group. It starts next Friday. And the last thing the group contains is community. Like I said, social isolation is the absolute worst thing that you can do for yourself during this time. I know it feels like you don't have time to connect, but we have never been more connected than we are right now. There are so many ways to connect with people. There's no excuse at all. There's no reason why you can't connect with one person a day, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a moment, and I want you to find a really comfortable space, okay? And we're gonna do what has been called, I'm sure I did not come up with this name, but it's called box breathing, okay? And it's called that just to remind you how to do it. So you shape like a box, okay? So you breathe in, hold for 5, breathe over, sorry, what am I saying? Breathe in, hold for 5, then breathe out, hold for 5. That's what it is. So you breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it's breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. Okay, so and it's like 5, 5, 5. So you breathe in 5 times, you hold for 5, and then you do the whole thing. You breathe in for 5, hold for 5, breathe out for 5, and you do that 5 times. There you go. But I'm just going to do it twice, okay? And I want you to do it with me. All right, so. Let's do it one more time. So there you have it. That's something you can do so fast, quick, and in a hurry, right? Just do that 5 times, like twice a day. And that alone is going to feed your system. It's going to give you the opportunity to just release some of the stress and tension that you may be carrying. All right. So those are the hacks that I wanted to share with you all today. Early bird, night owl, only two, figure it out. Which are you? Do all the really important stuff. Two must-dos, tops. Everything else goes back to early bird or night owl. Dance outside the box. Figure out things, this is an opportunity to get new habits, right? Get your exercise in a different way. Tons of stuff online. Go online, figure that out. It's physical distancing, not social distancing. So make sure that you are connecting with at least one person a day outside of your home. Like, not you outside of your home, but connect with someone that is not in your home. There's totally so many ways to do that. Meditation, breathing, just finding ways to calm your system, super important. Find a mantra. Mine this week was creativity and flexibility. Every time something happens, that's what I said. And don't forget about space to breathe. All right. So if you just hopped on at the end, go back to the beginning. Shared a lot of great stuff there, and I will see you next time. Bye.